Shane Battier announced his retirement after the Miami Heat's loss in Game 5 of the 2014 NBA Finals. He said he would miss playing with teammates such as Yao Ming, LeBron James, and also both Mark and Pau Gasol. On Twitter, some users asked him who his favorite player was to guard and also who was toughest for him to guard. For both questions, he answered the same thing: Kobe Bryant. He's the greatest competitor I've played against in all my years. Some of my best memories are of playing against him, guarding him. He put some big numbers on my head, but I will miss playing him more than any other player in the league. By playing in the Western Conference for most of his career, Shane Battier faced Kobe and the Los Angeles Lakers pretty often, and because he was such a good wing defender, he was usually given the responsibility of matching up against Kobe. Unsurprisingly, this was the hardest job for perimeter players in the NBA on the defensive end. But as special as Kobe was offensively, Shane was a special player in his own right. He was the Naismith Player of the Year in 1997 and the Naismith College Player of the Year in 2001, becoming the only basketball player to ever win both awards. His jersey was retired by both his high school and by Duke University, and he put up 23 points per game in his senior year at Duke. Shane Battier was known for taking charges and for being one of the best defenders on the floor every night while at Duke, so it wasn't hard for him to find some way to help each of his three teams in his NBA career. Battier was selected in the first round of the 2001 draft by the Grizzlies, who were still in Vancouver back then. At the same time, they had traded for the rights to Pau Gasol, who was drafted by the Hawks at number 3. Joining a pretty bad Grizzlies team, Battier had his best offensive seasons early in his career and ended up focusing more on defense as it became obvious that a good defender was of more value to most teams than a good scorer. When it came to Kobe Bryant, though, who was an exceptional scorer and defender, the job was much tougher than defending any other player in the league. And long before Battier got the chance to really study Kobe's tendencies and try to play his defensive game analytically, he found himself in the torture chamber with little help, because he entered the NBA just as Kobe had become a bona fide superstar. Looking back on his battles with Bryant, he called it being stuck on Kobe Island. And while Shane would develop his defensive game over his lengthy career, the Grizzlies had no hope of stopping Kobe on January 14, 2002. In December of the 2002 season, Battier faced Kobe for just the second time in his career. Kobe dropped 36 points on 15 for 23 shooting. But the game turned when he left with 50 seconds left in the third quarter with a sprained right rib. Kobe scored only 3 points in the fourth quarter, which came on a desperation 3 at the end of the game. Prior to the injury, Bryant had scored 12 straight points for the Lakers. Phil Jackson felt that Kobe should have stayed on the bench because he was clearly hurting from the injury. It's likely that Kobe would have gone for 50 in that game, and the Lakers were ready to blow the game open, but as Kobe's offense disappeared, the Grizzlies were able to take control. The Lakers found themselves down by 3 late in the fourth, when Battier forced Kobe into a bad pass and helped the Grizzlies hold on to win the game. Kobe hit a 3 with 18 seconds left to cut the lead to 4, but the Grizzlies made their free throws and ended up winning by 6. Less than 1 month later, the Lakers were scheduled to play the Grizzlies again at Staples Center and might have unintentionally given the Grizzlies some false hope. Shaq was suspended for an altercation that took place the previous game in Chicago. On one play late in the game, Shaq was fouled hard by Brad Miller, who was given a flagrant 2 foul on the play. But Shaq was also hit by Charles Oakley, and without realizing that it was Oakley, Shaq charged at Miller to retaliate. Miller was walking away without a clue that Shaq was behind him, and Shaq threw a punch at him and missed, as a fight broke out. It's safe to say that Brad Miller was pretty lucky the punch didn't connect, but so was Shaq, because the consequences might have been much worse than they turned out to be. Oakley and Shaq were both ejected immediately, and Rick Fox received 2 technical fouls and was thrown out as well. At this point, the game was still close, with the Lakers up 87-85, but Kobe missed a game-winning shot from 19 feet at the buzzer, and the Bulls were able to win in overtime. Kobe struggled from the field the whole game and ended up with 26 points on 25 shots, and the Lakers as a team only shot 41% as the Bulls took the game by 2. It's interesting to note that Ron Artest was on the Chicago squad as well, and maybe it's a surprise that he wasn't involved in the altercation to the point of ejection like the players who were. 2 nights later, the Lakers were hosting the Grizzlies and Shaq was forced to sit out due to his suspension. Kobe wrote the number 34 on his sneakers as a tribute to O'Neal and let him know that he would handle business for him, as he had been known to do for several years now. Keep in mind that the Lakers had already won back-to-back championships at this point, so handle business is exactly what Kobe did. After playing 47 minutes in the close overtime loss against the Bulls, Kobe would only play 34 minutes against Memphis and made sure there was no chance of losing this time. He started the game aggressively, putting up 3 shots in the first 2 minutes and making 1 out of 3. Then, he made 3 straight, including a 3-pointer. The Lakers kept a small lead with role players hitting shots, and Kobe would occasionally step in and hit another jumper or get to the foul line. He drove again and again to the paint to get contact or shots right at the rim and finished the first quarter with 18 points. The Lakers led by 5 points at the break, and Kobe was just getting started. He scored in the first 30 seconds of the second quarter, and even when he missed a couple of shots at the rim, it was obvious he wasn't going to stop. Battier tried his best to stay on him, but it was no use. Kobe simply spun away from him or took off on the break faster than anyone else on the floor to get 2 points again and again. With 8 minutes left in the second quarter, Kobe had 22 points. Less than a minute later, he had 29. The lead went from 3 to 8, and after Memphis returned from a quick timeout, it was suddenly 12. It was almost like he was toying with the Grizzlies, letting his teammates run the offense and helping out with rebounds or assists here and there, and then suddenly he would go off and hit 3 shots in a row. Kobe finished the half with 36 points, 1 point shy of tying Elgin Baylor's franchise record of 37. This is one of the understated aspects of truly prolific scorers like Kobe Bryant. It's beyond just making baskets and getting points. During a close game when there is no clear momentum for either team, certain players can simply turn it on and create a big gap out of nowhere without needing plays to be run for them or for opposing players to collapse defensively. Having a scorer like Kobe allowed the Lakers to have an occasional offensive drought or even to be missing their number 1 option in O'Neal, and they didn't have to worry as much as some other teams might. Since the Lakers were only up by 18 at the half, Kobe returned to play in the third. He took 1 shot in the first 2.5 minutes and then suddenly scored 9 points without a miss. With only 2.5 minutes left in the quarter, Kobe had 45 points and the Lakers were up 85 to 56. Just to make sure, he scored 11 more before finally getting blocked by Pau Gasol at the end of the quarter on a deep 3-point attempt. If that 3 had gone in, Kobe would have tied the Grizzlies' score with 59 points after 3 quarters. Everyone knows how Kobe outscored the Mavericks with 62 after the third, but how about Kobe nearly outscoring the Grizzlies after 3 quarters at age 23? The Staples Center crowd chanted for Bryant, but Phil Jackson decided to let Kobe have the fourth quarter off with such a comfortable lead. Jackson said that the upcoming game factored into his decision. He burned up a lot of energy tonight. He almost outscored Memphis at the end of 3 quarters. It was an amazing performance. He would definitely have topped 60 if he played the fourth, but Shane Battier said that if Phil Jackson didn't sit Kobe, he would have had at least 70.
Kobe Bryant, are you aware of the career high he had against?
56.
Wow. Yes, absolutely 56.
In 3 quarters. True story. My rookie year, I'm on a terrible Memphis Grizzlies team. I coined the phrase Kobe Island. All right.
He was wearing those.
Kobe came out and he had like, I don't know, he had like 30 something and a half. All right. And I'm thinking to myself, he's going for 70. And I'm fighting. You know, I'm fresh out of Duke. I'm like, I got him. And he's just torching me. Absolutely, like you name it. Fadeaways, fouls, layups, and ones. I mean, in Staples Center, you know, I got Jack Nicholson laughing at me, Diane Cannon, like. Thankfully, you know, it's probably the only time that Phil and I are cool. He sat Kobe in the fourth quarter.
Nice.
So if he actually would have played in the fourth quarter, he would have scored 70.
He might have said 81.
He would have. Yeah. He would have.
Kobe is the greatest competitor I have ever faced. I am glad he's found peace. I don't know if we'll see another one like him.